Hi everyone. بص أنا هحاول شوية عربي على إني تعرفيني بقى فهحاول اللي محتاج ترجمة please ساعدوني. But let's get started in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit one get on. So yes, هنتكلم على how to navigate negative emotions. And negative emotions بتيجي من كل حتة دلوقتي. Yes, especially that area. بس هنحاول نتكلم على الحاجات مثلا اللي عندنا a little bit more control over. في حاجات طبعا outside of our control خالص. Definitely ممكن have a lot of negative emotions على الحاجات دي. بس let's try and focus على الحاجات اللي احنا يا اما نقدر نعمل لها influence أو نقدر نعمل لها control directly. So هنبتدي بنتكلم إيه يعني إيه negative emotions. قولوا لي. You know me أنا بسأل أسئلة كتير ف don't be shy. يعني إيه negative emotions? When you feel down. Okay. مين هنا عنده أطفال صغيرة؟ معظمنا عندنا أطفال صغيرة. Okay. في هنا أولادكم جم من المدرسة وقالوا النهاردة أنا I spoke about emotions. عملوا الحكاية دي في المدارس about emotions. عملوا الحكاية دي في المدارس؟ Yes. See, look how كل الأمهات عارفين على فكرة. ولادنا جم من كم يوم قالوا لا احنا اتكلمنا على الايموشنز ويعني ايه يعني feeling down مثلا حكايه ان احنا feel down دي actually has lots of a big range of emotions. Down can mean lots of things for people. Yeah. فدلوقتي بيحاولوا يعلموا الأطفال في المدارس يعني إيه meaning down. نقدر نسيبريت مثلا أنا anxious مثلا أنا يعني حاسس what's anxious in Arabic؟ الآن thank you. أو أنا غضبان so I'm angry ولا أنا بغير I'm jealous. كل الحاجات دي ممكن تخليني feel down بس بيحاولوا يعلموا الأطفال يعني إيه بقى إيه to recognize الإيموشن والإيموشن دي جاية منين وليه وبعدين لما أعرف الحكاية دي بعدين أقدر أتاكل الإيموشن دي بالذات. بس مين هنا بيحس نفسه عارفين you know like optimist or a pessimist. مين بيحس نفسه optimist يعني إيجابي صح؟ إيجابي صح؟ Yes. متفائل thank you okay who is optimistic هنا ولا حد يا جماعة مش ممكن مش للدرجات يا جماعة على الحياة عامة في ناس تبقى generally optimistic عامة generally تلاقيهم كل على طول كده فرحانين على طول بيقولوا لك ولا همك فيها you know أحيانا طيب مين بيحس نفسه عكس بقى الأوبتيمست بقى what's opposite of إيجابي متشائم yes مين بقى بيحس نفسه متشائم شوية okay before after interest yeah good point وفي term كمان اسمه a realist يعني ايه بقى بالعربي دي؟ واقعي. مين بقى واقعي؟ برضه اوكي. حسيت ان شويه من البيزمست حطوا نفسهم على واقعيين يعني اوكي انا مش بيزمست قوي بس انا واقعي يعني it's realistic yes sometimes okay so what does Christ tell us about being an optimist or a pessimist or a realist? Do you think he tells us أي حاجة؟ طب قولوا لي هو بيقول ايه؟ لا تخف yes is the translation لا تخف yes do not fear بس في برضو في do not be anxious لا تهتم لا مش لا تقلق yeah لا تقلق so it's don't be worried don't be anxious right so he says in Matthew 6 Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? And he should add here, more than houses with interest rates. Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Now, he tells us not to worry. That's one thing. So worry is an emotion, right? And Christ tells us not to do it, which probably means it's a bit of a negative emotion, right? But he also talks about our attitude. What does he say about our attitude? مش بس not to worry, but also about our attitude. What does he say? الاتيتيود يعني in Arabic? لا تصرفات is behavior. صح؟ شو؟ attitude. لا attitude مش فرح. attitude is فرح is happiness. صح؟ سلوك حاسة سلوك لا actions مش كده؟ أو behavior. لا attitude لا. مو نظرتنا, yes, that's right. Our outlook, that's the closest. ما فيش attitude في العربي أكيد فيه. لا الطبع is character. سلوك, I think. Yeah, ممكن. Yeah, I think الoutlook, what you said, نظرتنا على الحياة, attitude بتاعتنا. I think that's the closest one. Right? He says our outlook needs to be, he actually tells us things like, say that again? Yeah. So he tells us to have a positive. So, مثلا, you know, في attitude بتاعنا, we have to always talk about the positive things. He tells us to say what is true, what is holy, what is all of those things that are positive, right? He doesn't tell us be realistic. No, he says rely on me, have faith in me, right? So how do we then navigate the negative emotions of ourself in front of our children and their negative emotions when they come out? What do you do? لما one of our kids comes and cries and is upset, what do you do to them? Or what do you say to them? Give them money. Okay, one way is a kadu. Yes. What else? So you feel for them. So how do you show them that you feel for them? Yeah. So try and understand what they're saying and get to their level. ايه الحاجات المفروض ما نعملهاش خالص وهم لما our kids أو حتى إحنا لما نكون زعلانين? What should we not do? Say that again. Stop them. To stop their feelings. So how sometimes do we accidentally do that or on purpose? It's okay. Yeah, right? It's okay. Don't cry. Don't be upset. Who says that? We all say that sometimes, right? معلش, that's right. لا خلاص ما تعيطش, لا خلاص ما تزعلش. But what does that do to them? It ignores their feelings, and it also discredits their feelings. يعني اللي انت بتحسه ده غلط. ولما انا بقول له اللي بتحسه ده غلط هيحس ان في حاجه غلط فيه. طب بس انا زعلان او انا بعيط, يبقى لو انت بتقولي لي او انت بتقولي ان ده غلط يبقى انا بعمل حاجه غلط باني بحس الشعور دي, right? So وساعات احنا بنعملها لنفسنا كمان. لما انا ابقى feel bad, طب انا ليه كده, انا ليه زعلانه كده, ليه مش عارفه ايه, واحاول stop الايموشن دي. بس having negative emotions is different to having a negative attitude. دول حاجات different. الاتيتيود دي اللي بيطلع مني I can control. بس الايموشن دي حاجه فيا انا بتطلع as reaction, my human reaction. واحنا قبل كده اتكلمنا على love languages a few times قبل كده صح؟ وساعات في مننا الناس اللي gets impacted مثلا بالكلام more. فتحس ان الناس اللي impacted بالكلام دول بيحسوا feel negative emotions من الكلام اكتر من other people. وتلاقي I'm sure you can think of your kids تحس في واحد منهم a bit you know more بنقول عليهم ايه؟ sensitive. yes بنقول عليهم sensitive بس actually هم مش sensitive. دي الحاجة اللي بالنسبة لهم matters the most الكلام. whereas في حد تاني بالنسبة له أو بالنسبة لها الكلام ده مش في value كتير فيسمعوا حاجة ما يهمهمش. بس احنا بنفكر ان ايه لا ده sensitive أو ده tough أو ده you know soft أو ده hard. لا مش حكاية soft أو hard. دي الحاجات اللي بالنسبة لهم بتعمل the most impact. That's how they feel love. فلما أنا I feel love بكلام وكلام يجي يوجع طبعا ده هحس بيه أكتر من لو أنا مثلا بفيل actions وحد كلمني ما يهمنيش قوي عشان بس لو عملوا حاجة تزعلني عملوا action ده هتوجع أكتر. ف it's very important to separate attitude and negative attitude من negative emotions. وساعات احنا ك parents we swap الاثنين. يعني أنا مثلا لما يبقى I've had a very bad day في الشغل أو عامة الاتيتيود هتطلع مني negative لما أقعد مع الولاد. وأول ناس هتكوبي هم الولاد. لو عملوا حاجة قد كده هعمل منها هليلة. وهم هيحسوا ان دي الفولت بتاعتهم هم مش هيعرفوا ان ده عشان انا يومي كان مش كويس. فهم هيقعدوا يفتكروا ان البروبلم هم. يعني انا بحس بالحكاية دي لما بقعد اعمل homework مع our 8-year-old. If I've had a bad day الhomework session هتبقى حد هيطلع بيعيط اما انا اما هي. ف it's really وبعدين تطلع وتقول Mom I'm sorry I was مش عارفة ايه وبعدين I have to I remember لا ده مش انتي sorry عشان الهومورك أنا sorry عشان الاتيتيود اللي أنا جيت بيها في الهومورك. لو أنا كان يومي جميل كنا هنقعد ونحل زي ما احنا عايزين بقى ونبقى relaxed وابقى patient معاكي وكل حاجة. بس أنا عشان يومي ما كانش كويس الاتيتيود بتاعتي اتغيرت فأنا طلعتها فيكي. وبيحصل all the time. فساعات لازم نفكر اوكي انا دلوقتي هقعد مع الاطفال او انا هقعد مع my spouse my partner. ايه الاتيتيود اللي انا هجيبها؟ والاتيتيود دي ريفلكشن ايه اللي هتبقى ريفلكشن ليهم؟ هم هياخدوا منها ايه؟ هيطلعوا بيها بايه؟ هيحسوا بيها بايه بعد ما نخلص؟ بس لما على الناحية التانية بقى لو بنتكلم على negative emotions ساعات اللي احنا بنعمله especially في الكالتشر بتاعتنا كمصريين ايه بنقول ايه لا مفيش حد بيعيط هنا لا you know لما I hear sometimes the older generation يعني لما أعزم ابننا بيعيط he's 5 years old لا don't cry you're a boy. مين سمع ده وهم صغيرين؟ أو حتى when you're a girl ما تعيطيش لا محدش worth your tears. صح؟ مين سمعها دي؟ yes. yes, our tears are precious and we tell them their tears are precious, but it's okay إن هم يعيطوا. That's a normal human emotion. عيطي, that's fine, طلعي, okay. When you're ready, let's talk about it. بس اللي بنعمله ساعات إن بنقفل على العياط وبعدين نقفل على الكلام ونقفل لغاية ما كله يخش جواهم one day كل حاجة هتطلع بس هتطلع in the wrong way. Right? So بدل إن احنا نكتم وما نعيطش قدام الناس ما نعيطش مش عارفة إيه you know أو always be happy. طب ما هو الهابي دي هتبقى fake وبعدين happy like this fake happiness امتى. So we have to acknowledge emotions بتاعتهم أولاً. And like we said here, understand where the negative emotion is coming from, منين. Think back واحنا that age. إيه الحاجات اللي كانت بتزعلنا؟ وكل stage of life هيبقى different. اللي هيزعل a 5-year-old هيبقى different اللي يزعل a 13-year-old. Okay? فunderstanding the different levels وما نقللش من اللي هم going through. يعني لا ده هبل حاجات عيال هبل ما هتكبري ولا هتفتكري الحاجات دي. ممكن فعلا بس دلوقتي هي فاكرة وحاسة. طب وبعدين؟ فدي حاجة. وبعدين الاتيتيود بتاعتنا احنا نقدم against البيسيميزم. و the other thing is ازاي نعمل لهم role modeling. يعني انا لو انا حاسة بنيجاتيف emotion اقول لهم انا النهارده الداي بتاعي ما كانش كويس والنهارده انا كنت زعلانة. And that's okay ان احنا نكلم اطفالنا على الايموشنز النيجاتيف بتاعتنا. That's totally okay. بس نقول لهم وبعدين هنعمل ايه؟ ايه رأيك نقعد مع بعض ون read a book او نقعد برا شوية and get some sun and just talk about something different. Take our mind off it. Or you know حاجات كده. فنرول موديل بالنسبة لهم ان احنا فعلا احنا مش super powers. يعني ما عندناش احنا super powers كparents. We're just human. We also have negative emotions and that's okay. فهم ساعات محتاجين يسمعوا ان احنا also بنتعب, also بنزعل. And then looking how we can go from problem to solution بقى. نوريهم role modeling. ولما يشوفونا بنعمل الحكاية دي شوية شوية هم هيبتدوا يعملوها بنفسهم. لنفسهم. وبعدين another thing اللي احنا unfortunately واحنا بنشوف كمان that we're missing is a spirit of gratitude. Gratitude بقى. امتنان. Yes, exactly. Perfect. فإن احنا ساعات يعني حتى لو مش حاسين بيها ساعات اللي بنعمله إن بنكمبلين على حاجات probably we shouldn't complain about. بس we do صح؟ كلنا we do. You know, مش عارفة the heater, the central heating's not working today. You know? Or I don't know, أي حاجات من اللي احنا بنكمبلين about in a first world country. Right? فكل ما يسمعوا الحاجات اللي احنا بنعمل complain about, it reduces a sense of gratitude for them as well. فهم هيبتدوا complain, I don't have enough toys. I don't have مش عارفة ايه زي مش عارفة مين. Right? لو احنا بنكمبير نفسنا بناس تانية قدامهم كمان, that's another thing. Right? فإزاي نوريهم إن إحنا على طول thankful في كل حاجات عشان الgratitude دي بتخلينا more positive, more optimistic, less negative. فعلى طول نفكر إحنا بنكمبلين على إيه قدامهم وإيه اللي إحنا بنشكر ربنا قدامهم for. يعني إحنا are we only thankful لما الحاجات بقى تبقى كويسة وكل حاجة كويسة ولا are we also thankful لما في حاجات ما تبقاش كويسة بس بنشكر ربنا على الحاجات الصغيرة اللي عندنا, the simple things, you know, our family, our health, our support network, our church. الحاجات اللي هي the basic needs. So always remembering to thank in front of them. Thank God in front of them about the little things and not complain about the luxuries that we have. Right? And obviously, you know, seeking support is a big one. يعني ما نحسسهمش ان هم لازم يعملوا كل حاجة لوحدهم. حلوة حكاية الindependence طبعا وعايزين teach our kids to be independent. بس sometimes they need to realize for emotional support محتاجين الناس اللي حوالينا عشان يساعدونا through our emotions. We all need someone. فمين الشخص أو الأشخاص اللي حواليهم اللي يقدروا يساعدوهم through the negative emotions. نوريهم إن إحنا برضو محتاجين support. You know, like sometimes it's okay in that, you know, kids go to sleep now because me and daddy, we just need to spend some time because I need some support from dad, you know? And that's okay. I need dad for that as well, right? فيشوفوا إن that we are navigating emotions negative مع بعض وهم محتاجين حد يعملوا نفس navigation معهم. Hopefully في الفاميلي مش برا الفاميلي, you know, that's... But eventually طبعا حيروحوا الناس برا الفاميلي, their friends, their cousins, and that's normal. بس عايزين nurture good conversations that need to happen عشان to navigate emotions دي. ودي الحاجات اللي احنا ممكن نعملها في البيت نفسه. And we have to do it في البيت قدام. All right, questions or comments? What do you think about that? إيه رأيكم؟ أو إيه أفكاركم؟ Yes. Yeah. You'll have to ask my parents. They're the ones who are the parents of 3 girls. So I'm telling you, it was not easy growing up with 3 girls in the house. إيه رأيكم؟ أصل كل واحد مننا عندنا different strategy to calm ourselves down after a hard day. فكل واحد منا في different strategy. يعني أنا بالنسبة لي مثلا I have to completely switch off from my laptop and from my phone. That for me is like أنا بحس بالديفرنس. لو التليفون في إيدي and I'm trying to do homework معاهم or I'm trying to do أي حاجة بتطلع either I get angry or excited or just focused on that and not on them. So that's my strategy. Another strategy sometimes for me is music. Before I go in, I just have a really like calming song, instrumental, just to calm me down a little bit, and then it's a reset with them. Obviously, another one is prayer. So, you know, just a little prayer, you know, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you know, like. So just to, you know, just to pause, stop, because sometimes we need a reset button, right? And work is a whole different brain and energy, and they are a whole different brain and energy. So what's your reset button? Does anyone else have ideas? So I just gave 3. Any other reset ideas between work and going? Yes. True. Sometimes as either mums or friends, we excite each other too much about the negative. نقعد بقى ننم مع بعض بقى ونقول عمل ده وعمل ده, you know. So yeah, sometimes it can be therapeutic at the end of the night after they've gone to sleep. So, but in the middle between work and that, it might rile you up a bit more. So it depends. Does that friend or does that person calm you? Or do they overstimulate to the negative? Yeah. Normal. Yeah. Yeah. Dug deep. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So you just give them time out until this attitude is resolved, but the emotion is still there.
Yeah.
At the same time, another thing would be talk to me. I want to talk more.
Yeah.
So it depends how you're going to resolve the situation with the 3 girls.
Yeah.
But sometimes people used to feel relief talking with a Buddha.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Someone who has children a bit older than your kids can tell you, oh, that's normal.
Yeah, definitely. Gives you perspective that it's not the end of the world. You're right, definitely. And sometimes we just need that every now and then. That this is because sometimes we think it's only happening to us because we're in our bubble. But yes, definitely, yeah. مش شايفه. we're saying sometimes it's good إن إحنا نكلم حد that already went through that stage عشان نrecognize إن إحنا مش لوحدينا يعني. وهم إيش مثلا strategies that worked وطبعا to recognize إن كل واحد من أطفالنا is different reactions to the negative attitude بتاعتنا لازم تبقى different. مش كله اسطمبة واحدة يعني واحد time out maybe it might work for them or just some calming time. Another one ممكن يتكلم على طول. Another one a hug and they're reset, they're back to normal يعني فبس acknowledging in each child is different reactions بتاعتنا لازم تبقى different. Sandy. Yeah. without disqualifying their emotions, you know, you can sometimes even say, you know, that's happened to me before. I went through that same stage and it seemed like a big thing at the time and this is how I went through it, and then actually a few days later it was okay, you know. So giving evidence is actually good. Sometimes evidence, but again, some kids work better with evidence, some are very emotionally driven, so you have to understand your child and what's going to work for them. Who's the logical one that needs, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3, who's the other one who just wants emotional, tell them that everything's okay and just give them hugs and just be there. For what's going to work for one child is not going to be the same as for the other, but as long as we tell them, we still like go back to their level and seek to understand. At least try and seek to understand. وبالنسبة لنا ممكن يكون هبل بس بالنسبة لهم مش كده. فبالنسبة لهم دي حاجة كبيرة ليهم at that time. Just to connect with that urgency and that importance بالنسبة لهم هم. Yes. So the question was, عشان اللي ما شافش هناك, what if عندك child that cries all the time? كل شوية حتقعد to validate their emotions every time, فمش مش حيبطلوا. That's a really good question. The best thing اللي احنا نقدر teach our children is self-reflection. Right, self-reflection. فإزاي نعلمهم يفكروا بنفسهم? Is that reaction worth, or is that situation worth that reaction? Where ساعات بنبقى sometimes for logical children, and sometimes it doesn't match the emotional versus the logical, but ساعات you can say, was this a small fire, a medium fire, or a large fire? As in the situation. Okay? If it's a small one, what's equal reaction to the small fire? Right? Maybe it's a bit of being a little bit upset. Like, a little bit upset, that's fine. Medium, if you're hurt, masalan, you know, really hurt emotionally, maybe it's a bigger reaction. If you're really hurt physically, or you've hurt yourself, you're bleeding, or something big, then that's a big reaction. Right? For teaching them which type of, where are you now? What's the, like, if then, you know, like an if then equation. If I'm feeling this seems like a reasonable reaction. So having a child, what happened to you just then? Your brother or sister took a toy from you. Is that a small fire, medium, or is that a big? And when you show them a repetition and consistency, كده, شوية they'll realize, oh wait, that was a small, you know? And eventually they can stop themselves. But what we're doing, instead of كل مرة إحنا نقول لهم لا, that was not suitable for cry, they're not understanding why. Whereas if we teach them to self-reflect, to understand, ده اللي حصل ودي reaction بتاعتي, does that equal that? Then slowly they can start regulating their own emotions, right? But it's not going to happen overnight. Well, the more we tell them stop crying, also is not going to help. عشان هم مش عارفين, طب okay, stop crying دلوقتي, طب I can't control it later, or I don't know when to cry, or وساعات crying بيحسوا إنه get a reaction faster. So I want a reaction. so I'm going to cry. But again, going back to the validating for them and repeating, and you tell them, like, ask them, what do you think is a small, medium, and large? And you say, a large is probably when you cut yourself and you're bleeding, and you know, like, that's a really, really large, you're screaming, you're sad, you know, that's when it's really like, we have to understand why so we can do something quickly. But snatching a toy is probably a small, right? So eventually, does that answer it? Help a bit? Good. Yes? Good. Yeah. So resilience is a really, really interesting topic now because كل حاجة بتتغير حوالينا. صح? We're all in change all the time, right? فبالنسبة لأطفالنا عايزين وبالنسبة لنا احنا كمان يعني كadults وكمان الأطفال عايزين نخليهم يقدروا. So the definition of resilience is a complicated definition, but how I like to think about it is bouncing forward. Okay, bouncing forward. يعني كل ما أقع a bounce back up بس a bounce forward مش a bounce backwards وقع. Right? That's resilience. Is learning إزاي كل ما أقع I get back up or I move a little bit forward. حتى لو صغير بس I'm moving a bit forward. Self-reflection is a really important part of resilience. لو عايزينهم كل ما يقعوا كل ما يزعلوا كل حاجة تحصل لهم في حياتهم bounce forward لازم يقدروا self-reflect عشان لو أنا مش عارفة أنا جاية منين هعرف إزاي إن أنا رايحة forward ولا رايحة backwards. Yeah? فهم لازم يعرفوا طيب أنا عايزة get better in this بس أنا دلوقتي I failed my test. إزاي bounce forward. Okay, for understanding أنا كنت فين where did I go wrong what do I know what don't I know كل الحاجات دي self-reflection. فكل ما أعرف حاجات على نفسي وعلى الانvironment بتاعتي كل ما أنا هعرف if I'm progressing forward ولا if I'm going backwards. بس لو أنا مش عارفة أو أنا am relying for my teacher or my parents قولوا لي أنا فين مش هعرف أنا فين. I always rely on external help. But that's a really important one. So self-reflection. The other thing is our positive the attitude part is really important. كل ما أقع if I have a positive attitude هقوم هحاول حاجة تانية. وكمان لازم نوريهم إن لازم يحاولوا حاجة تانية. مش يحاولوا نفس الحاجة و expect حاجة you know different to happen. لا طب يلا نغير بقى نغير strategy بتاعتنا. So that's another. So self-reflection, positive attitude, and different strategies to move forward. وبعدين celebrating progress. حتى لو حاجة صغيرة جدا اتحسنوا فيها let's celebrate it. وهم celebrate it. So they can think يعني our daughter she went into a public speaking competition وأول واحد عملته she won so she was really happy فالexpectation بتاعتها is I won. فالnext one راحت and she didn't win. But she's like I didn't try I know that. Third one she really tried hard and she still didn't win. And it really upset her. And so we said okay what do you think? Where did you think you went right? Where did you think you could improve? And then she realized the person that won, hers was funnier, she didn't use the cards, she didn't مش عارفة إيه, وابتدت تعمل self-reflection. فمع إنها زعلت and she cried and that was okay, but what's the next step بقى? What's the solution? And then when she, حتى لو عملت a little bit of progress, it's celebrating. Now you know what to do better. It's not about winning, it's not about losing, it's about the progress. And that's what resilience is. It's the progress. I think I'm right on time, 8:57. Yes, is that all right? Okay, good. I think if there's any other questions, please come after and we can chat. Oh, okay, one more, معلش, one more question. Okay. Yes.
لو كنت انا ما كانش حصل اللي حصل سوري فالسيد المسيح هداها وكلمها بهدوء وخد منها كل كلمه وانتهى الموضوع على كده. مريم ما كانتش موجوده، كانت جوه، ولما عرفت جريت جري بتعيط 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 وجريت على السيد المسيح وهي بتبكي. السيد المسيح عمل ايه؟ بكى. في الاول العقل اللي كان بيكلمه بالعقل خده بالعقل وطمنه، واللي كان بيبكي ما صدهاش وبكى برضه. رياكشناتنا مع اولادنا مرايه لاولادنا. ما ينفعش ابني جاي يجري عليا وهو يبكي وانا اقول له ما تبكيش، لا ابكي. لو جاي هو بيضحك وعايز يحكي حاجه فاني اضحك. فرياكشناتنا احنا mirror for our child. We happy to them and we cry to them. It's fine. It is fine. I'm happy to be a mirror to my kids.
Yeah, beautiful. Perfect ending. Thank you so much. That's perfect.